So you probably clicked on this video because you're probably asking yourself this question. Is software engineering the right path for me, or is it something I will thrive at? I asked myself this question a couple of years ago, and in fact I'm still asking myself this question. So today I'm here to give you some reasons why software engineering may not be the best for you. Also stay tuned because in the end I'll be doing a confession on if I truly enjoy being a software developer in big tech. Number one, software development involves a lot of structural and mathematical thinking, and you will need to be able to represent your ideas and your thinking using mathematical equations, tables, graphs, etc. And while this thinking is something you can develop through training and school, I also believe people should keep this in mind when considering a career in software. If you've been following the news, you've probably heard about all the layoffs that have been going on for the past year. Amazon laid off, Facebook laid off, Microsoft laid off, a bunch of other companies did massive layoffs. The key take from this is that tech is very competitive, and if it's not in your true nature to be competitive, you should probably think about other careers. There's just so many smart people in tech who are just smart and competitive, so you have to be able to thrive in that kind of environment. Push comes to shove, or they're considering people for promotion or considering people to lay off, you might be vulnerable in that state. So just think about this when you're considering a career in technology or in software development. Today, so many people want to become software developers because of the money, the perks. A lot of people want to become software engineers because software engineers get paid a lot, and rightfully so. Software engineers earn about 50% above the US average wage. And to be honest, if money is what you want, I totally recommend you go for it. But keep it in mind that being a software engineer is constant training. Even when you get the job, you have to keep improving. You have to actually just love that training process, because technology is constantly changing and you just basically have to keep up with it. I like to think of it like a rat chase, right? If you can't keep up, you just become obsolete. So you have to get comfortable feeling dumb sometimes in order to adapt to all the new and upcoming technology stuff. Software engineers get rewarded for finding problems. They like problems. They want problems. That is literally what the job is all about. So you have to embrace that feeling of debugging and running into roadblocks to be a good software developer. One thing I've learned from my time as a software developer is that you cannot be too attached to a project. You may spend months on end working on something, but you can't take it too personal. Why? Because you can be working on something, for instance, and that thing is like a baby, and the next thing your boss says, our users are not reacting positively to this project, we want more money, we need to switch. So you have to reiterate quickly, move forward, and switch your perspective in order to build a more successful version of your product. So keep this in mind if you would want to get attached to your projects. Next, onto culture. Software engineering culture is very, very laid back. People dress very, very casually to work. There's less of that, huffety puffety feeling that's very common to most industries, right? I had a friend once, for instance, and she said she does not want to be a software engineer because she likes to dress up. She wants to dress up in heels and wear her suits all day and everything. I mean, you can dress up to work as a software engineer, but no one is going to stop you. But you might look a little off depending on how much you dress up. I personally look forward to dressing up on the weekends because I'm just bored of wearing jeans and a t-shirt to work. Being a software developer means you don't get a lot of physical activity during work hours. Software engineering is very, very sedentary. You're mostly sitting down and facing the screen and writing code all day. And the blue lights that come from the screen can also be very bad for your eyes. There's stuff these days like the walking treadmills that people use while walking. You can either get that or you can just get your physical movement outside work hours. If you want your job to involve more physical activity, then software engineering may not be best for you. I also want to touch on the question of racism and sexism in the industry. People say they've experienced it, but being a black woman here in tech, I would say I haven't personally experienced biases where I work. I also say, compared to many other industries, the tech world is very, very liberal. So, but keep it in mind that like office culture is simply a reflection of the real world. So I would say expect anything and know how to advocate for yourself. On a more positive note, software engineering offers more work-life flexibility. But you really think about it if you're trying to consider a career, because you might be a lot better at something else and even end up making a lot more money at something else. So just think about it, all the pros and cons, and see whether it suits your personality and your talents. So now onto my confession.
I'm somewhat of a masochist.
Just kidding, but I like the fact that I can constantly be learning and growing in an industry like tech. So if I were to do something else, I would like to do something more hands-on, like architecture and hardware engineering. But on the bright side, I could also get a little of that as a software developer. So yes, I like being a software developer for now. I might crave change and try to switch to something else in the future, but for now, it works. So thank you for listening to me. And if you have any other ideas for people who are considering a career in tech, please drop it in the comment section below. And also support this channel by subscribing for more good stuff. Thank you.